Simple interest. The simple interest formula that calculates only interest earned over time is given by the formula I equals PRT. So this is the simple interest formula. It only calculates the interest earned, okay? I equals PRT, where P is the principal, R is the interest rate, and T is the time in years. So when we talk principal, that just means how much you start with, okay? So this only calculates the interest, okay? So number one says Theo deposits $600 in a savings account. So that's the principal. That pays a simple annual interest of 3%. How much interest will the deposit earn after 8 years? Okay, so we're trying to figure out the interest. So the interest is going to be the principal, which is 600, times the interest rate, which is 3%, but 3% as a decimal would be 0.03, and then times our number of years, which is 8, and that's all you got to do. Just do the principal, 600, times the interest rate, which is 3% as a decimal, that's 0.03, times the number of years, which is 8. And there you go. That's all you got to do. So 600 times 0.03 times 8. I got 144. So he'll earn $144 of interest. So that I'm just going to do that one example for you. So you can do 2, 3, and 4. Just be careful on that one because it's a little bit different. It's asking what is the interest rate. So it gave you the interest of 76, and you have to, and it gave you the principal of that. You have to figure out the rate after 4 years. Okay, so you have to figure out the rate. So you can solve that equation for R. But 2 and 3, I think you should be okay with. Now, here's the next thing. The simple interest formula that calculates the total value of an investment over time is A equals P times 1 plus RT. And this is quite similar to the previous equation. It may not look it, but it's basically you're just finding the interest and then adding it back to the principal sum. Like if you were to, now don't write this, but like say you were to distribute this, it would just be P times 1 is P plus PRT. So you're basically just taking that interest that we calculated on the previous page and then adding it to the original principal sum. So that's that's where this formula kind of comes from. Okay, so but you will be given this formula, so you just need to be able to use it. Okay, you just need to be able to use it. So here we go. It's got the same variables. P is the principal, R is the interest rate, and T is the time in years. Okay. So 5 says Jasmine invests $800 in an account that pays a simple annual interest of 4%. What will be the total value of her investment after 7 years? So I'm going to write A equals, so P would be 800. 1 plus the rate is 4%, so 0.04 times T, which is 7. So 800, 1 plus 0.04 times 7 would be 0.28. And then 1 plus 0.28 is 1.28. So multiply those. I got $1,024. Okay. So put in $800, 4% interest over 7 years. It's now going to increase to $1,024. Let me show you 6 as well. 6. Okay. So we're going to go A, it's our amount, your principal, $1,600, 1 plus our rate as a decimal. So 2.8% would be 0.028 times 5 years. It's going to be 1 plus 0.028 times 5 is 0.14. So I have 1,600 times 1.14, which would be, I got to retype that. Hold on. 1600 times 1.14. I got $1,824. Okay, hopefully those two examples are enough to do these ones down here. Oh, I forgot to mention, some of these can be a little tricky. Like on this one, on number 3, you wouldn't plug in, whoops, it says 60 months, but that is, remember, there's 12 months in a year, right? So 60 divided by 5, that's 5, sorry, 60 divided by 12 is 5. So that's 5 years. So you want to use that instead of the months. 60 divided by 12 is 5. And then even 18 months, we got to use years. These are all about years, okay? Remember that it's time in years, okay? Years is what we're using. So 18 months, remember there's 12 months in a year. So 18 divided by 12 is 1.5 years. So be careful. Read it. Okay, you got to read it. Okay, because sometimes it's going to try to trick you. Okay, so I think that should be good. You do the rest.